Hey guys, Lyra here. It's currently 1 in the morning, and what am I doing instead of sleeping? I'm gonna sit here and make a video because why not? So, I haven't done a stories with Lyra in a little while, so I just kind of felt like doing one of those. It's a style of video that I honestly really like doing because I like talking about myself, I guess. That's not true at all, but we're just gonna go with that. So, I thought that I would tell some of my college stories, seeing as how I'm on break for college right now. Thank God, because I have been stressed to the max with college, but it has at least given me some somewhat fun stories to tell, so we're gonna dive into all of that. So these are just really random. I hope that they're entertaining to you guys, but yeah, I I make some interesting choices, I guess, because I am a person who likes to go out with my friends anywhere from like 12 to 4 in the morning, basically, on walks. I wouldn't say 4 in the morning, that's probably pushing it. But there have been nights where we have gotten back at like 3. So we're kind of weird. We like to walk at night, but we all stay in a group, so that's safer than not doing that and being alone. So yeah, we're all kind of night owls. That's kind of our thing to do. So every now and then when we get stressed, we'll just go out on walks together and we'll all just be together and talk. And it's honestly really nice. We just talk with one another. We kind of wind down. It's a good way to just clear my mind, and physical exertion eventually will make you actually tired, so I feel like I can sleep better after we go out on a walk. And yeah, it's a great break from schoolwork. So the other night we made a very poor decision of walking in the freezing cold all the way to Meyer. I insisted that we shouldn't go that far just to get some food. I told them that we should just go to Admiral and head back. That's not what happened, though. Why listen to the reasonable one? We're gonna go all the way to Meyer to get some spicy ramen and jarritos. At least, that's what I ended up getting. It was not worth it. It was so not worth it. And I knew that it wouldn't be. I knew that we could get spicy ramen at the frickin' gas station, but nobody wanted to listen. So, we walked all the way to Meyer, blasting music and freezing our butts off. It was so cold outside that not even halfway there, my legs were starting to be like, hey fam, we really want to give out on you. Like, my knees just wanted to give out on me, first of all. And then, because it's so cold, my legs started to freeze over. Like, I don't know why, but whenever we go out in the cold and, like, walk around, the first thing to get cold is my thighs, and they just turned into, like, pure icicles. And then, eventually, it turned from just, like, really cold to, like, stinging cold. It felt awful. Then it started to affect my face. Like, I was so, like, literally so cold, so frozen, like, in my facial area, that it was starting to get to a point where I couldn't even speak correctly. I sounded drunk. I was basically slurring because my face did not want to move like a normal working face. It was too cold. So we ended up walking all the way there. We desperately tried to see if anybody else was awake and could take us back because we're idiots. But of course nobody's gonna take us back at 3 in the morning. So it was like 3:30 by the time we got back. And I ate the spicy ramen as a way to warm up. And it was just so not worth it. But it did heat me up, so I guess that's good. I felt like death. And these are decisions that we make on a regular basis. Usually I'm okay with walking and going distances, but like, in that much cold, it was such a bad idea. I don't know why I do this to myself. There was also another night where we went out on a walk, and like, I'm kind of a person where I somewhat believe in ghosts and stuff to an extent. I think that if you invite an evil presence, it's gonna come, you know what I mean? So, like, I sometimes will get bad vibes about like a situation or a place. And I was going out with one of my friends on a walk. It was just the two of us. And we just got to this area and we were walking past the city limits. And we decided that we'd just keep going anyway. Like, why not? Let's go on a long walk tonight. It was dark, it was pretty windy, and we could just hear these wind chimes from a house out in the distance. And it sounded kind of cool, but also like really eerie. And then the more we walked out, like, the more I was like, yo, when should we head back? And he was just like, oh, we'll head back if there's like a sign or something that we should head back. And I'm like, well, okay, we'll just wait for a sign. And yeah, we got our sign. It was so windy that some of the pine trees were starting to look like they were gonna like swoop down on top of us. And then I started feeling like I could hear noises. And, it was probably just wildlife and stuff, but, like, it was creeping me out. I actually, like, hopped behind him at one point, and, like, eventually we both just, at the same time, got really spooked for whatever reason, and we're like, yeah, that tree looks like it's coming down, I think this is our sign, and we started heading back, and it was fine. Turns out that the place that we were heading towards is an area that our other friend, his roommate, had gone on a walk before alone. And if you went beyond that area, that was kind of roughly where he was at. And he said that he had had some spooky experiences. Like, there's this one place along the railroad tracks that our friend went to all alone. And he took us almost to that distance one night. There was like this old abandoned train, and there's this building that looks like it's abandoned, but it's like lit up inside. And we're all just kind of like, what's going on over in this little area? Like, is this abandoned? Is it not? Are there people there? Well, our friend walked beyond that point one night. He didn't want to take us any further than that because it spooked him out the last time he went, but he went beyond this train area into this wooded part, and he said that he found like a bunch of animal bones and trees that looked like they got knocked down and bent out of shape, and he just got like this bad feeling, or like something was there, and it suddenly started like raining on him, and then it stopped, and he just like had this really spooky experience out there on his own, so he doesn't really want to go back there. And me and my other friend were a little bit curious, but also a little bit afraid to want to go check that out. But these are the kind of things that we do. We go on night adventures like weirdos, and sometimes you have an experience. One of my friends also told me that one night while they were walking out by the library that they saw this thing that looked kind of like a dog or like some sort of beast, and he could have sworn that he saw that. I don't know. Everybody has these kinds of like stories, and you never know if they're true or what, but I kind of believe in weird things. There's also like this old abandoned kind of like hospital in town, and sometimes we'll go by there and it almost seems like maybe parts of the buildings have like lights on or something. And it's all boarded up. Nobody's supposed to go in there, but I kind of wonder if like anything is going on in there, if people have broken in and people could be living there, or if there could be spirits or something spooky. I don't really like to mess with that kind of stuff because I do sort of believe in it, and I don't want to invite anything bad into my space, so I don't do that. But the guys had been talking about wanting to like break in there at one point, and I told them like, no, that's a terrible idea, don't do that. That you're gonna get caught by like the cops, or you're gonna have a bad experience. So that didn't happen. That's not going to happen. It's just like kind of interesting to think. I feel like there are places that just have like a bad energy to them, and then there are other places where you could like maybe feel that there's good energy there, depending on like who's been there and like the sorts of things that have gone on. Like, I just believe in a way that everything has its own sort of weird aura. So like, I don't know. I probably sound like I'm crazy. So anyway, we're just gonna get into some more lighthearted stories from college. For example, after I came back from Comic-Con last year, I had taken everything with me in this big pink suitcase, and that's also what I used for this year. It's really convenient. My grandma gave it to me. And like, it fits a lot. It's basically like, it feels like it's almost my size, which fits into the story, you know? So I unpacked everything out of it. And last year I had 3 different roommates. And 2 of them were with me in this little excursion. It was 2 of my roommates and my boyfriend and I. And we just kind of looked in this suitcase and I was like, I wonder if a human body could fit in this. That is like the weirdest thought. But I was like, I wonder if we could fit in here. So the shortest roommate was the first one to try to climb into the suitcase to see whether or not people could actually fit in there. And indeed she did fit. So we decided to zip it up on her, and then we kind of like picked it up and started dragging her along, and it actually turned out to be like fun. So the rest of us kind of tried to fit in there. We're all like 5'4" and under. Like, I think I was the tallest because I am 5'4", which is, yeah. And my boyfriend's about the same size that I am. So like, we were all pretty tiny. So we were each able to fit inside of there. And we each decided to take turns dragging each other through the basement. My roommates and I lived on the basement floor, and you know, there was just a lot of room to zoom around in there. So as long as no RAs or other people saw, it was fine. So we started to drag each other and we were just like all laughing. It was kind of weird to be in there. It was like an experience. So it was pretty weird because of, you know, your body weight and gravity. As you start to move, eventually you kind of like scrunch down a little bit more. And it's not breathable after a while, but like just for a short ride around the basement floor, it was actually pretty fun. I was like laughing really loud and everybody was like, shh, we don't want anybody to find out and be like, why are these college students dragging around a body in a suitcase? So that was an experience that we had. It was pretty fun. You know, my friends and I just kind of do really weird, random things. Like, there was this one night where my friend, who is just a being of pure chaos, he likes to play a lot of tricks and just do weird things, and just anarchy seems to be his thing. So he decided one night that he wanted to play hide and seek, so he decided to hide on all of us somewhere on campus. And so, late at night, after we'd all just eaten, we had to figure out where our friend was, and the only hints we got were really random cryptic Snapchats like, look in the greenery where birds fly or something, I don't know. It was just like really cryptic messages, sometimes some really dark pictures that would be sent, or he'd be like, oh, I see you. Turns out he was hiding in the bushes. A security guard walked past him like twice, and I can only imagine what would have gone down if like the campus security had actually seen him down there. But I walked past him and he just decided to like pop his hand out or whatever and scare me. And it's just like, yeah, that's just the kind of stuff that he does. He'll run off and hide and we try to find him and like other weird things. But yeah, that was an adventure that we all had once, I guess. I mean, I guess with a college stories video, people might be expecting me to talk about like crazier stuff, but this is just like my experience. I don't know if this is like boring or just weird, but yeah, these are the kinds of things that I do with my time. Back before my boyfriend and I started dating also, my roommate and I used to convince him all the time somehow to take us to IHOP at like 2 in the morning to 4 in the morning. It was a bad idea, and we all had like 9:40 classes the next day, but it's something that we did a lot. And usually we wouldn't miss class for the most part. It was really fun, and honestly, those IHOP trips kind of just like brought us closer, and eventually it became like a dating spot for us, and so it's really cute. I really love IHOP. Good memories. Um, I don't know how he fell for me because honestly, my roommate and I were so weird at nighttime. Like, sometimes when I'm like staying up and I get way too tired, I just get really random and goofy, like just uncontrollable laughter, like rolling around the floor laughing, just being a total goofball. Like when you're just so brain dead that everything just spews out. And he was always there to see that. So I don't know how he put up with us, but kind of glad that he did because it led to some fun memories. And, you know, we would always come back pretty tired after eating soup and stuff at IHOP. They have like the best potato soup ever, which is why we had to keep going because that stuff is addicting. But then we'd get back and my soon-to-be boyfriend back then, would decide that if he went back to his room, he would disturb his roommate or he wouldn't wake up after falling asleep in his own bed. So he would nap on the lobby couches, and the cleaning ladies used to get mad at him about it and just be like, hey, what are you doing here? Get up, go, sleep in your own room. But then they kind of got like used to it after a while because it happened so often. He would also used to study out there and fall asleep, and I would go out and study with him. Fun facts, I used to be a little shy girl, stupid, and every time I saw him out in the lobby, I would find an excuse to go out and see him and like sit down and do work. I would be like, oh hey, I was just heading to the bathroom, how are you doing? Or I'd be like, hello, I have a paper to work on, can I sit here? It was an experience. I'm really stupid, I'm bad at flirting, and so yeah, these are the things that came out. Honestly, I would love to make a video just about like some of the weird things that led me to being with my boyfriend, and like, I don't know, I guess we've got some interesting stories. Like, our first kiss was kind of interesting and this and that, so like, I don't know. If anybody's even interested in that aspect of my life, then I could go into that, but yeah. So I'm sure that there are better college stories that I could tell, but these are kind of the weird and fun ones that popped into my mind. So I'm probably going to make a part 2 of this, honestly, because it's really fun and I know I have more stories and I'll think of them later and I'll feel like, oh, why didn't I tell this one? And my college experience isn't over yet. I am just a sophomore. Soon it'll be the second semester and I'm nervous as heck. I have an 8 a.m. class. I'm gonna die. Like I said, I'm a night owl, but to fit things into my schedule, I had to have this 8 a.m. And I am terrified. I am not capable of functioning that early in the morning. I have to wake up earlier than 8 o'clock to be at an 8 o'clock class. It's going to be something different for me. I need to get into better sleeping habits. Obviously it's late right now. I already revealed that it's late and I'm making this video, but yeah. So anyway, let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see, the stories you'd like to hear, and hopefully I will be back with another one of these. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this one. Please be sure to leave a like if you did, subscribe for more content, and I would love to see you all in another video. Bye!